I'm fine. Hey, didn't Maria do a great job today?
I am blown away. Like, I literally think I'm just going to listen to that on repeat once it comes out.
Well, maybe you should listen to yours too, because I know you couldn't believe she gave herself a four. The way you were looking at her is the way we were looking at you. How about that?
Interesting.
Right, though, but it is interesting when you think about it because we were all blown away by you, and you're like giving yourself a low score, and you're blown away by Maria, and she's giving herself a low score. It's the same thing. You guys don't see what we see. You guys both were incredible. I hope and trust you know that and are starting to know that.
Working on it. We're a lot closer to being there than we were when we started.
Good, good. All right, let me just make sure everything's good here. This will be quick. I mean, 15 minutes or less. Marsha, why this is so important to me, I I have a hard time talking about push. It just feels weird for me to go out and be like, you got to take this program because it does this. I've never been great at that, and it's something I am working on. I know it's a great program. I don't want to feel like I'm selling it. I want people to know it's good because they hear other people talk about it. So for me, it's so important to have these discussions that we're about to have that are recorded with permission so that people can hear it because I need you to just talk organically. I don't want to coach you on what to say. It's however you felt about what you went through is all I want you to share. It just, oh, hold on a second. Do you hear that feedback or is that on my end?
I'm not hearing feedback.
All right, hold on one second. Let me.
Sure.
Okay. Okay, there we go. So Marsha, all I'm going to do is just start. I'm going to count down from one, two, three, and I'm going to just start talking, and we're just going to have a conversation. That's all it is. I promise you. Super easy, right?
Sounds
So
good.
one, two, three. Marsha, I want to say thank you so much for joining me today. I know we just wrapped up Push on Thursday, and we just had a great listing presentation with Maria today. And what was so important to me about getting on this call with you is to hear about your experience. I mean, I met you, what was that, late January, early February?
Yes.
And you
Not
and
that
I,
long ago.
not that long ago, and we kind of connected. I want to know what made you decide that you wanted to go through Push to start off with, and then what you thought about the program.
So, what was interesting is when we met, I swear within the first 5 minutes, I just knew there was just something about our conversation.
Hmm.
And I just knew you were going to have a huge impact on my life in 5 minutes.
Wow.
And so at that time, and that was before you even spoke to the office, I was literally like the sheep ready to follow you wherever. And I will never forget you giving me this. And I think you will never understand just how much that meant to me at that time for so many different reasons. And I don't take it off except for this week. I did take it off for a couple of days because I didn't feel like I deserved to wear it. Um, I
What?
know because I was letting fear take over. And so I felt like I couldn't wear a bracelet that says I want it more than I fear it while I was fearing it more than I wanted it.
I'm speechless. Wow, I've never heard that before. Wow. Okay. Okay.
But it's back on,
It's back on.
back on. We're not taking it off again.
Right.
Yeah, and I just knew in that moment, and after you did speak with the entire office, I remember emailing or texting you and saying, I want to sign up for Push.
Hmm.
And what was interesting about it is we had our brief discussion and you sent me everything. And I remember signing up, and never once we even talked about cost.
Right.
You proved your worth within 5 minutes.
Wow.
And that was so impactful and so huge. And now, having gone through Push, it was more than I even anticipated. It was more than I expected, but every single thing I needed. And I'm so sad it's over.
So it's so interesting you say that because Manny said the same thing. And people have been pushing me to what's after push? Like what can I join to still be connected? And I'm working on that because I miss it too. Like we get in and we talk real estate, but we also talk life and you get to know people and connect with people and you want to continue to watch them grow and pour into them. And it does feel like, oh, it's over. That was quick. So I'm gonna work on that, Marsha, and I'll let you know what I come up with. Definitely.
It's good. Count me in, whatever it is.
Okay. So what's really interesting to me is I meet so many people who have gone through different training programs, and I won't say any names, but they've gone through different training programs with other coaches, and they hear about push, and they're like, "Well, I feel like I've gone through so and so's training before. I don't know if I need it, or I've never done the training. I'm not sure if push is right for me." If there was someone kind of sitting on the fence about taking push, what would you say to them on why they would need to go through the program?
Do it. At one point, I had 3 coaches at the same time
Oh, wow.
because I got something from each one, but none of them completed everything that I needed. I've done bold 5
Mm-hmm.
times.
Mm-hmm.
I am a huge Tony Robbins UPW fanatic,
Me too.
and you are now up there on that pedestal. I can see not just the changes in my business, but the changes in me as a person since starting Push. You have
Mm.
been such an incredible mentor and just human being. And the fact that you care and it shows and you can feel it, and that is
Yeah.
so, so important. And so when we met, I had just started a team and I had one buyer's agent, Christina.
Mm-hmm.
And then someone else who does the script and role play on Instagram reached out to me wanting to join my team just from seeing our interaction during the script and role play.
Wow.
Oh, it gets better. Then
Okay.
I get a phone call from my team leader, and he was like, someone else listened to the script practice and role play with David and wanted to know if you would consider having them join your team. So now I started with one. I now have 4 agents on my team. They just keep,
Wow.
and every single one of them started out with watching your script practice and role play, seeing whatever it is they saw that I did and being impressed enough to want to work with me.
Well, you're pretty impressive.
Thank you. I appreciate
Four
it.
four people.
4 people. And I kept saying, what
Wow.
is happening?
Right. And we're talking about so push started February 15th. So
Yeah.
you're telling me between that and March 20th, you went from 1 to having 4.
Yes. Not only from 1 to having 4 in between February and March,
Yes.
I have 4 listings. Some of them are pending. So my pipeline is looking pretty good this year.
Great.
And 5 ready, willing, approved buyers. So within that brief period of time, we're talking about almost 8 million in transactions.
Oh my goodness.
And
I
I
I didn't have a clue. Oh wow. That's great to hear.
I honestly owe it all to you. You know how nervous I was about doing this. And the first time you had me do that role play, I literally did not sleep. And you can ask even my poor role play partner, Amina, she felt so bad for me. Like I thought I was going to throw up on camera. It was that bad.
Wow.
And I realized this is growth for me. Last week, when the person that was supposed to role play couldn't get on and you were asking for volunteers,
Yes.
I raised my hand. And the only reason I didn't is because I had just done it. But I'm like, whoa, how far have I come?
Very far in a very short period of time. You know why? Because you want it more than you fear it, right? You're willing to step out there for yourself. Man, I can I share something with you? And I shared it on the call this morning a little.
Absolutely.
I feel like I'm walking on clouds. I feel like every day I wake up and I'm hearing from you and other people. Like, I'm like, David, you are doing what you need to do. Like, this is your purpose. And this is not the only thing I do. I have my photography and some other things that I love, but this right here, it doesn't feel like work. I wake up and I'm like, okay, what can we do today? Like, I want to pour in. And to hear you say that, and to hear the success you've been having and the recruitment you've been doing, and the fact that you're willing to raise your hand where before you were losing sleep,
Yes.
I know what that feels like. And so, man, you made my day with that. That's really fantastic.
So this is slightly off topic, but you know how
Please.
you're always talking about us being out of our comfort zone.
Correct.
And I am a creature comfort person, right?
Okay.
I watch the same movies over and over. I listen to the same music over and over. So I have what I say is the world's biggest cat phobia.
Oh.
It's one of the things that stopped me from getting into real estate earlier because I always thought to myself, oh my goodness, if I open a door and there's a cat on the other end, what in the world am I going to do? So fast forward, I had that listing appointment that I was telling you about where she signed
Mhm.
before I went out to the house. So we go out to the house and we're doing the photography and she has a cat.
Mm.
So I had the whole team go with me so they could be like the cat wrangler. Anyway, fast forward to the end of the night, I have pictures of me actually touching this cat. And because for me, it was like, I need to be here. I need
Yes.
to do this. I need this listing. I want it more than I fear it. The cat is not going to kill me. So I reached out and touched it.
And
First
you
time ever in life.
are you serious? Like ever? How did that feel doing like the process of actually just touching the cat? What did it feel like for you?
It was terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
But I think what was more terrifying than that was just me doing something out of my comfort zone.
I understand.
Just in doing that, I'm like, what else can I do that's out of my comfort zone? So that's why I said, as much as you have had such a huge impact on my career personally, oh my goodness, I cannot thank you enough.
Thank you, Marsha.
Thank you. And I
That
mean that from the bottom of my heart.
I know you do. And I'm receiving that and I feel it and I appreciate it. Wow. Wow. Okay, so yeah, again, it's just confirmation that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
You're
And
doing what you're supposed to be doing.
and it's also confirmation. You know how we've been talking about the let them theory? I sometimes have a hard time like, hey, I'm going to show people me out playing my guitar and doing something different. And in my head, I'm like, what are they going to think about that? It's me though, and I have to be me. I have to do what I do. And I love that just it's not just a connection on the business level, it's a connection on the personal level. Whatever that means for you, I'm connecting with people just being me, my true authentic self. And I'm getting more comfortable with giving myself permission to show who I really am more than I currently do.
And you know, on the personal side, I'm going to get a little deep here, which I don't usually ever do.
Okay.
Um, but for me, I tend to self isolate. And I think it's because I just have to focus on putting one foot in front of the other and
Yeah.
getting things done. You know, I have two boys that I'm raising. I've been a single mom since they were 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And so it goes from having to take care of them, having to take care of my parents who have now both passed on.
Hmm.
But you tend to not ever be on the receiving end and always the giving end.
Yeah.
So that is why when you handed this to me, it was wow, just that act of kindness
Mm.
is something that not that you don't receive, but you just don't really expect, you expect to be the giver all the time. And to be on the receiving end of something was really nice.
Well, thank you for sharing that. And I'm going to wrap up by saying this. I've shared with you before, I never do that and give that bracelet out. And something told me to give it to you. And this is why we have to learn how to listen to our gut, our intuition, because I never would have thought it would have had the impact it had on you. I just felt led to give it to you. So I'm going to lean in more when my gut's telling me to do something because of what you just shared with me. I'm going to be more obedient and listen to my intuition. Wow. Thank you for that. I want to. I need to interview you for my podcast. We need to talk and get really deep. If
Oh,
you're open
geez.
to it one day, like just chopping it up and having a really good conversation because I enjoy talking with you. I enjoy what you said, and I receive all of it, and I appreciate it. It makes me feel really good about what I do. Like I said before.
You are an amazing, amazing human being. And I will be back in May.
Awesome. Love to have you back, and if I could send you over a link later on today, would you mind going to Google and giving me a review?
1000%.
I'll send you over a link later. Thank you, Marsha, and thank you for meeting me early. I had something come up, and I appreciate you being flexible with the schedule, but thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for all that you do.
And stick with me. I'm not going anywhere.
Oh,
So
I'm not going anywhere
let's stay
either.
plugged in. All right. Thank you.
Enjoy Kenya.
I will. Listen, I'm taking you on that trip with me. I will be posting. You will see Kenya too. Trust me on that.
Awesome.
All right. I'll talk to you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.